What's up, party people? Speed Zone TV here tonight. Robert Warren's your host. That's me for race number 7, Lightning Esports. This is going to be the final race before we move into the playoff bracket, so that's going to be exciting tonight. We're at Kansas Speedway for a showdown. Not everyone's locked into the playoffs just yet, so drivers are still going to be battling for that, but we're looking at 78-degree weather with partly cloudy, 2-mile-an-hour winds, 45 humidity on this 1.5-mile speedway. So make sure you check us out on YouTube. Well, you're probably watching it now, but throw a like and stuff on the broadcast when you do. These drivers are just finishing up qualifying and getting ready to grid up here. So it looks like we got that 20 machine of Oaks on the pole position tonight. Burke on the outside in that 95. Luttrell in third, Wright in fourth. That was last week's winner. Pottle in fifth. McKee in sixth. Henry in seventh. Rideout in eighth. Lauder in ninth. Darnell in 10th. 11th goes to the 21 machine of Robert Kahn. Warnez in the 90 in 12th. Jordan in the 78 in 13th. Ridgway in 14th. And running at the field is the 18 machine of McAfee. So I'm pretty excited. These guys are starting to roll. Meow. Let's go ahead and take a look at these cars. I don't know if we're going to have any new paint tonight. Well, I guess we'll find out. Imagine the bit windows here is about 25 laps or so for these next-gen machines. Great thing for Lightning Esports, they've been around for quite a time. So, you know, this is race number 7. Just going to pop up the schedule here real quick. This is season number 4, but they've been running for years, and this is a newer league name for them, some rebranding. You know, going to be pretty interesting of a battle with the 15 cars in the field tonight. Pace car is about ready to duck in. Watch the start on that 20 machine, see how he launches. Green is out and they're underway. Pretty even. 20 is getting a slight run going into turn 2. Luttrell looking on the inside. Takes a peek but backs out of it. Doing a good job of setting an early pace. It'd be interesting to see these drivers if they start to run the high or low side. I know you can get substantial momentum on the high side of the track on the exit of the turns. Oak's doing a great job so far of just setting pace, and we've seen him do it several times before throughout the season here. Set an early pace and then checks out. Employs his kind of his like own strategy. Single file for the most part. A little bit of dancing further back in the field. That's Warnes and Lauder, the Kool-Aid Jammers, with Dirty Daddy Thomas Ridgway following them through. That's a new paint, or at least a different paint for that 21 car of Robert Kahn, just ahead of the Warnez and McAfee there. Likely to see green flag racing here. This track has tons of surface to move around, but you're going to want to be gentle on that right front because it's likely you're going to get loose as the run progresses. Warnez making a move on the outside of McAfee. Have to see if Ridgway comes in tow. Look at the gap here. This is about a 2/10 gap for Berg in that 95 RBS. Ford. Lots of racing left, but they're going to tick down pretty fast here. We're on lap 6 of 80. Our sponsor tonight, Apex Boss. Great driver overlay software. If you're in the market for an edge, you might want to hit up their website, see what they have to offer you. Real-time telemetry allowing you to make winning decisions on the track. Moving up to that high side, not everyone is doing that just yet. Like I said, you're gonna get the momentum on the high side here. Take a look at what Oaks is doing up here, P1. Opening up a little bit more of a gap now. Right up beside the wall. Let's take a look at the battle between Rideout and Con. Con just completed the pass on the 76 machine. Still running pretty tight together. Got McKee and Pottle here. 5 is Throttle Pottle. 15 is Blue Chew McKee. Getting a run down the front stretch. I'm gonna try to make it stick on the high side here. Looking at lap times look pretty consistent around 30.6. McKee was one of the faster cars on the track the last time. Like the high side's getting the momentum. Henry's looking to pressure right here with Con and Rideout in behind. Down the backstretch. Out of turn 4. Con saying it's time to go. They're going to be 3 wide going into turn 1. Right. Lifts out and cuts the bottom slightly. Tucking in behind Con, tight on Henry. Slight contact on the wall from that 10 machine. And Wright is bobbling. Losing edge. Darnell is now through. Rideout in behind, gonna put pressure on Wright. With Warnez in tow as well. Looking on the high side of Rideout. That number 13, Action's getting spicy. 10 machine brushing the wall there. He's going to lose a bunch of momentum. Wright is charging up on the outside of Darnell. Good battle here for 7th through 11th. That high side. Con is starting to reel in the 5th place of the 5 machine. Throttle Pottle with Blue Chew McKee just in fair sight in front. Luttrell and Burke still chasing Oaks, but within a second of time. Henry falling off the pace slightly with one of the slower laps. One of my cats here is visiting me. Hello, Max. You can't see her, but she's here. 21 hook in the bottom. Not very many of the cars are running that line. I'm going to imagine if you're shutting down the car and not pushing that right front too hard, in the long run, that's going to be the fastest way around. Otto tags the wall on the exit of 4, tucks in behind the 21 machine of Khan. Oaks still setting decent pace in the lead. Looks like Luttrell is battled by Burke now. That's last season's champ. Chris, the champ, Luttrell. 30.89, a little bit quicker than the leader. Closes up the gap on Oaks slightly. Once again, closing up the gap on Oaks. Take a look at these lap times. It's a little hard to see, but you can see the last lap. Luttrell was 0.3 quicker than our leader, Oaks. And Burke quicker as well by 1/10. Not really showing it on the clock, but we got some pressure happening here. Khan has caught Luchu. See the power of the outside line as the 15 machine is able to get that car length back as they trade positions. '21's going to complete that pass. Going to see where we got another tight battle we could take a look at. Tight battle here, but this was the 25 machine, Liquor and Wine. Corey Wright, last week's winner on Father's Day at Talladega Super Speedway. Carnage on the last lap. 25 machine was able to be victorious. Auto up into the wall. That's going to open up opportunity for Rideout and Warrens to charge up. Speed Zone TV here tonight, race number 7, Kansas Speedway. This is the last race before the playoffs, and drivers are here trying to lock in. See Rideout looking low on the 5 machine. Backs out on the entry there. Luttrell has almost caught Oaks, 0.2 back. Even down the front stretch, Warnes on the high side. I don't know if that's where he wants to be, but Darnell making a charge. They're going to go 3 wide between 1 and 2. Holding good lines here. Talented driving by the drivers of Lightning Esports on lap 24. Those tires are tired. Warnes is going to squeak out ahead, be able to close the door on the high side. Pottle's still going to look on the high side to maybe have a run. Darnell kind of fizzled out on the exit of 4 there. That 21 machine of Robert Kahn is coming 0.3 faster than the leaders. Hop in the cockpit of the 21 machine. We should see pit cycles happening pretty soon. Called around lap 25, but you can hear that 21 car shut right down in the center. It's got to run on the 00, but the power of that outside line. Nice and smooth. Able to clear. You can see that 00 in the rear view mirror. And now Kahn has his eyes locked on Oaks. Slowly but surely. 0.2 back. Got louder in the pits. Kahn is gonna attack Oaks down the front stretch. Not gonna be able to put too much of a fight. Our new leader, Robert Kahn. I think we got Oaks coming in the pits here. Oh, that's going to be a black flag for that 20 machine. He's going to need a caution. I think that could be an unsafe pit entrance, so that might be a hold. Tough break for him. He wasn't able to get the car wound up in time. These drivers are going to need smooth pit stops. Take a look at the battle here between Blue Chew. Blue Chew's coming in the pits. And that's the champ, Luttrell, in front of him. It's 18 machine in behind them coming in the pits of McAfee. See Oaks still in the pits. Showing Kahn coming down pit roads. That's right out and Warren's the last two cars. Not sure who was squiggling there. Our new leader, the 76 machine of Mike Rideout. Been known for these crazy pit strategies, but I think he's coming in nice and slow. That's Warren's in behind him, making up over a second on pit entry. And who's sliding there? That is the 78 of Jordan. I don't know if he fell out there, but that was crazy. That was crazy, dog. All the action down pit road tonight. Imagine that our leader is going to be either Luttrell or Kahn, depending on how their pit strategy worked out. Or is it going to be Burke, actually? I think Burke short pitted. Yeah, Burke is showing. Not sure if Kahn got a speeding penalty. He's still in the pits. All of the carnage tonight at Lightning Esports. WTF. But that's what we're here to do. Bring it to you live, Speed Zone TV. We're awesome. You're awesome. It's Sunday night. What else do we got to do, you know? Jacob Medford in the chat giving a big shout out to Berg, shake and bake as he's deploying his strategy. Take a look at our lap times right now. Luttrell is about 5 tenths quicker a lap than Burke. Going to be pretty interesting to see that gap close and how the pit cycle is going to happen. He's our lone warrior right now. Nobody to contend with. Burke's currently sitting 6th place in points. Not locked in for the playoffs, but a win right here could solidify that for him. You can just see that time ticking down from the 00. Was almost 5 seconds a few laps ago. Now 3.5. Luttrell currently 3rd in points, but he's locked in with a win already. And Henry, who's in 3rd place, is 2nd place in points with no wins. So not locked in, but I mean mathematically those drivers are pretty good to roll through the playoffs, but with a win, there's just that much greater certainty. See, that gap is closing again. Luttrell 3 seconds back. Just seeing a bunch of cars that must have had problems on the pits. Mornez still in the pits. On board with the champ, Luttrell. Let's take a second here. We're almost halfway in the race, but we're going to hop in the cockpit of the 00. Last lap was a 30.59. This lap, 30.8, so 2 tenths slower. Imagine there's going to be a tire degradation trade-off. I think we might see a new winner tonight. Excellent racing so far with the drivers of Lightning Esports. Go ahead, and you can see the gap now, just 2.3 seconds. Let's go ahead and take a look at Burke now. Saw Luttrell running the high side primarily. So there is going to be an opportunity here for drivers to choose their pit strategy. We saw them go almost 30 laps. So technically drivers could come in around lap 50 and have enough fuel for the entire way, depending on what they decide is appropriate for, fuel. So you can see on the right-hand side of the screen the laps that they came in on. Burke, lap 24, Luttrell, 29, Rideout, lap 31. Henry, 25, Caffey, 29, and Jordan, 31. Oaks, 1 lap down, is likely due to a pit penalty there. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Burke is doing as far as driving here. Lap times for these drivers have leveled off for the most part. very smooth. Not too much wheel input on entry. That's going to save those tires. That's our leader, Burke. 43 coming to 44. Shout out to our sponsor for tonight's race, Apex Boss, putting on the 80-lap show at Kansas Speedway. Apex Boss does a series of overlays for driver inputs and telemetry, giving you the information that you need to get you to the front, get you the wins. You're going to want to check out their website, see what they have to offer you. They have all types of subscriptions available. And the last lap there, Burke was faster than Luttrell. Almost even a half-tenth, so they're swapping times now. Burke might have lucked out here with a little bit of strategy. He's going to be able to pit. Like I said, around lap 50, that pit window is going to open up. And it's going to offer an opportunity to drivers to mix up the strategy here, because there is an advantage with those fresher tires at the start. Hard to see where the rest of the battles are. On board here with 78 machine of Jordan as Darnell in front. There's one lap down presently, but the battle for position is that 18 machine, the white and green car. Making ever so gains of momentum. 2/10 quicker that time over McAfee. Jordan is closing that gap. Darnell looking to make a move on that 18. Side by side. Seems that bottom side when you cut the apron there, the car kind of stalls out a little bit. The battle here with Darnell and McAfee is going to allow Jordan to close the gap even more. $15 cars in the field tonight. Been green so far. We're over halfway, approaching lap 50. And I have to watch how these leaders decide to start to pit. Jordan is on the bumper in the draft of that 18 machine. Are now up on the high side. Can't quite break away from the 18. 78's going to look on the high side of the 18 here on the entry. Darnell closes the door for a second. Might be a very notable finish for McAfee. Currently sitting in the top 5. Slight brush of the wall. This is the battle here for 5th place. 78 and Jordan gets a run. The momentum here at 78. Wobble on the exit. They're even. Jordan's given lots of room. Looking like those tires are just a touch better. Fine engineering, holding off the fight from that 78 of Jordan. It's going to be interesting to see here how the battle to turn one works out. Jordan's got the nose. He's able to clear him and finally make the pass. That was a tough work for that 78. Lap 54. Speed so devious replay. We're going to watch the 10 car send it off into the pits. This is going to be our first pit person. Burke is also coming as well. It's down and looks to be clean. Henry's down in the pits. There's Burke. Our new leader is the 00 of Luttrell with Rideout in behind. Watching the entry here for the 00. He gets in smooth. It's going to put that 76 machine of Rideout in the lead. 25 laps to go. Hear that car shutting down. Going to make his way into the pits here. Well under control. Good job by that 76 machine making it into the pits. Back on board with Burke. Gonna be tough to see. But it looks like Jordan is our new leader now in that 78 twin-headed machine. Caffey in behind, 24 laps to go. Henry and Luttrell both on fresher tires. They'll be battling for position once Jordan and McAfee, Oaks, Key, pit. Right now, it's going to look like to me that Burke is our leader by a lot. Almost 8 seconds. Up 12 spots tonight. We got McAfee coming into the pits. Oh, that's not good. That is not what that 18 machine needed going through the grass. We'll likely get assessed a black flag for that. '22 machine still out there. Or sorry, 78 machine still out there. Now strategically, it looks like the 95 machine has about a 6 to 7 second lead. Over the pit cycle, cars that pit cycled with him. Oaks is coming into the pits there. That's going to put him back a lap down from his earlier penalty. Take a look at our pit stop laps here. .54 for Burke, 55 for Luttrell, 56 for Rideout. Pit stop time. Looks Looks like Luttrell might have taken 4. He's going to get around Rideout. Or at least they're battling. Don't know if there's going to be enough time for Luttrell to get up there. Jordan is still out, probably praying for a caution. Trail battling right out hard. They're tight out of turn 2. Down the backstretch, Luttrell, slight advantage on the high side. Trying to get ahead of the 76 machine and lock down the podium. $18 down on the bottom, not sure. Gonna get up into that 00. Not really sure what happened there. Looking like an intent caution to me. Happy he jumped off the track. That's going to be a tough break for Luttrell. Is going to be suffering damage on that right front side from the contact. Let's see if we can get the camera over there to take a lookie. Not seeing any significant damage. On the nose. Oh, actually on the left front there, we can see the fender is scrunched. See the damage there. That's going to hurt the aerodynamics for Luttrell with 15 laps to go. Tough break for him. Looking like McAfee is now off the track. Back up with Burke. 6 seconds ahead of Rideout with 14 laps to go at the line. It's looking like clear sailing. Gonna be a big win for Burke in his RBS. Missing the S tonight. Bud Shearer not in the field. And he's got his angel up in the sky, the R. Justin Reynolds, former teammate. Getting it done for him, making him proud. Looks like Henry has caught Luttrell, likely due to the significant damage on the left front of that 00. See that Luttrell has fallen out of the wake of Rideout when they were even previously. But Luttrell needs to think about long term of a championship, and if he's able to repeat, just give up the spot, be smart and sensible. Henry able to make the pass. laps to go. Henry makes it around Burke. Or Henry makes it around Luttrell. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of our lap times. It looks like Burke is 31.28. Rideout 31.13. So just a slight advantage for that 76 machine over the 95 of Burke. But not significant enough for anything to fall off the tracks here. Pretty even that time by. Nine laps to go. Race number 7 almost complete at Kansas Motor Speedway. I guess there's no motor in the Speedway, but just Kansas Speedway. Tonight's race has been brought to you by Apex Boss overlay software for iRacing. Not even really getting a chance to breathe tonight. No cautions. Excellent racing by all the drivers. Putting on a show for you guys. But that's our leader there, the 95 of Burke, who has done a great job at locking in a pit strategy. Henry and Luttrell battling each other still. Six to go at the line. Pretty even times for the first and second place car. Go ahead and hop in the cockpit of Burke. I don't know if there's any shifting going on, but we'll see here. Typically fine when drivers do shift, it puts more load on the tires. Nice and smooth for that 95 of Sean Burke. All he has to do is hit his marks coming up on a lap car. I don't know who the heck that is. Just brush the wall. Laps to go now. Henry has cleared Luttrell. He's going to lock in that podium. Tough break. Oaks is able to make his way back up through the field. Take a quick look at all these cars. Well, we only have 2 laps or 3 laps to go, coming to 2. It's a 76, a ride out in his Amsoil. Traveler Whiskey of Henry. Champ Luttrell in his VBR. Oaks in his Simucube Ford. Liquor and Wine, Corey Wright. 25 machine. Luchu McKee in the 15. Ridgeway in the Kool-Aid. Currently in 8th. Darnell in the 99 in the Wagner's Welding. 21. Robert Kahn in the Freightliner. Jordan in the 78. But we're going to have to get back to our leader here. Coming down the backstretch. Into turn 3. He's going to be our victor tonight. That's the 95 machine of Sean Burke getting it done. P2 is going to be our driver 76 of Rideout, with P3 coming across the line right meow of Henry. And then the 00 of Latrell. Rounding out our top 5. Going to be the 20 machine of Oaks. Tough break for him. He had a fast piece. Seemed to be a story for a lot of drivers tonight. Just not able to manage the pit entry. Seeing the burn down. See what we have for driver interviews tonight. Henry and Rideout gonna pop in the waiting room. Excellent job by these drivers. Take a quick break here, and then we'll be back. Just letting our sponsors roll through. Take a moment to show them some appreciation. If you're in the market for paint, you might want to hit out Lightning Wraps. If you're looking for a PC, Feg PC is great. Custom PCs for iRacing. Virtual to Reality TV hosting a series of money events for like-minded racers, putting cash in your pocket with a good finish. All right. Let's get the show on the road here. We're going to be pulling in our P3 finisher, Mr. Jason Henry. Rob up in the booth. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well tonight. How are you doing?
Me, I'm all right. Can't complain. But P3 tonight, looks like you had a good strategy. Talk us through what was going through your pit cycles, and what were you going to do to get yourself up a little bit further in the front.
Well, to be honest, I had to short pit the first cycle because I got up into the wall and got some damage. It was just tearing the tires off of it, and that kind of set me up between that, and I missed all the chaos on pit road from the cycle.
Yeah, no, I saw that, and you came back and you were battling there, so you caught up to third place of Latrell at the time, and the 18 was kind of dancing. What did you see going on in front of you there?
It just kind of it looked like he might have clipped the apron and then was trying to save it and chase it up the hill, and unfortunately, I believe that Latrell might have just chose the wrong side trying to get by it.
It definitely did, because there was a little pancake action there. This is our final race before we move into the playoffs, and then you're sitting P2 in points. I don't think it's going to change. Well, you might actually end up P1, depending on the finish. Yeah, you might be first in the regular season points here. Moving into the playoffs, Jason, what's your plan for the first race at Indianapolis on the 29th?
Honestly, it's to survive. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in running super front up front there. Usually I can be good on the long run, but I give up a lot on the short run trying to take care of the tires.
Yeah, it's a very interesting track with seems like 18 turns.
It feels like it. I just want to survive there and be in a good point position going into, I believe it's Dover after that. I have some high hopes going into that part.
Yeah, Dover is a much more favorite track for me because Indianapolis, the laps are so long. Like I almost feel like you can fall asleep.
Exactly.
But congrats on your P3 tonight. Do you want to give a shout out to anyone?
I just want to thank our sponsors for putting this on, letting us go have this fun for everybody to watch.
Heck yeah, brother. Well, I hope to see you up in the booth again, Jason. Good race tonight. Great strategy. It got you to where you needed to finish, and good luck at Indianapolis.
All right, thank you, Mr. Warnes.
Yeah, take care, buddy. That's our P3 finisher, Jason Henry. We're gonna grab Mike, the ravishing rideout. What's going on, Mike? Congrats on your P2 tonight.
Thanks, buddy. It's good to be here. Long time no speak.
Yeah, yeah. I always see you when you race. Is that you tend to kind of like hang out and take a longer pit strategy, maybe in the hopes of seeing a caution or whatnot. But what was your strategy tonight? Like, I think the first pit stop you were out for what, 31 laps?
Yeah, I would have been there about. I wasn't expecting, I guess, to get this far in the beginning, but I kept it easy on the tires, and it paid off a bit in the end there. And then after the last couple of pit stops, I just said, "What would Robert do here?" And split the tires down the middle, and it seemed to pay off.
Yeah, I mean, you had a boatload of steam, and this season especially, I've seen some good runs from you, and just kind of like tire management and conservation has kind of been your thing. So you've been doing pretty dang good. So have you attributed any like practice or testing that's gotten you a little bit more craft?
I'll be honest, I haven't at all.
You're supposed to lie to the viewers.
Oh, sorry, too late.
You're sitting P6 in points. Before we entered tonight, you should be good for the playoffs. We're going to Indianapolis next week on the 29th. How are you feeling about Indy?
It's not really one of my favorite tracks, but we'll do what we can there.
Yeah, not one of my faves either. Do you think you're going to have a shot at the championship this year?
Well, stranger things have happened, I guess. I mean, look what Luttrell did last year. It came in as a lucky or the wild card and took it home. So who knows, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always love an underdog story, to be honest, and that was very unexpected and just kind of attributes to the level of racing that occurs at Lightning Esports, right? Anyone could take it home. It's not somebody who's always up front that wins every time, right? But Luttrell's been quite the force this year. You as well. Who do you want to give a shout out to for your P2 finish tonight?
We'll just definitely have to take MRM and all of our sponsors: Apex Boss, SimLab, VBR, V2R, Lightning Wraps, FEG PC. Yeah.
Heck yeah, brother. Well, congrats on your P2 tonight. Long time no speak, just like you said, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Robert.
Yeah, take care. That was our P2 finisher. We're going to be bringing in our winner, hot diggity dog, Sean Burke. How you doing, Sean? How you feeling, brother?
Yes, sir. Got a little momentum heading into week 1 of the playoffs. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you're locked right in now. You don't even have to worry. Not that you had to worry before, but you were sitting tied for 6th with Rideout in the points. But I mean, after tonight, winning, carrying that momentum, how does it feel for you?
Feels great, man. Like I said, this one goes out to our RBS teammate who passed away. His name's Justin Reynolds. He would have loved to. We'd be celebrating right now. Knew that guy for many, many years. So it's nice to go out of the regular season here with a win. And we executed well all night. That first stint there, pushed pretty hard, and then a short pit, which put me off cycle from the rest of the field. So it gave me a little more flexibility, I felt.
100%. Yeah. You pitted around like lap 24, and I think majority of everyone else came in like 29 to 30.
That's right. Yeah, I was just hoping there wasn't going to be a caution there, but yeah, it worked out to our strategy and played out well, and we executed on pit road. I think we had probably we had really fast pit stops, no penalties, so it was a good run. This RBS Ford was fast.
Heck yeah, it was. And it was interesting because you were the only one that short pitted that first stop, and after that, it kind of sets you up to be the contender. I think the 20 machine and the 21 both had pit stop penalties, and then after that, it was just kind of clear sailing for you.
That's right. Yeah, I was getting ready for a dogfight with the 20 and the 21's always a contender. But I gotta say, hey, no offense there, Robert Kahn. I was happy you got a penalty because I don't know. He was saving his tire saving ability is crazy. So that worked out really well for us.
Yeah, 100%. Great job at the win. You've been kind of like a contender all season of just being fast and maybe not always having some of that long run speed that keeps you there. But tonight it paid off. We're going to Indy. Is an Indy a track that you like?
Not in particular. It's going to be a challenging week one, but we're going to keep the car clean. We're going to be consistent and make it to we're going to make it to round 2 of the playoffs there.
Yeah, I think that's going to be kind of like the biggest thing is consistency in the playoffs, right? So nobody's a winner until that last race where you get to duke it out. So
that's correct. Just need to make it there.
And unanimously tonight, I've heard from Henry and Rideout, and now yourself that Indy sucks. So what are your thoughts on Dover, Sean?
Dover should be a pretty good track for us. It's another track where tire wear is going to come into play. Robert Kahn will probably dominate on a track like that. And then there's, a lot of opportunity at Dover for, you slip up a little bit, you can get caught up in a few things. So, like I said, we're just going to try and keep the car, finish consistent. We're not gonna race to not lose. We're still gonna. That never works out, but we're still gonna, we're gonna make sure that we're not being sloppy.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's going to be interesting. Those two tracks are very different. Take a different set of skills. So, I wish you all the luck in the first round of the playoffs. I expect to be seeing you again. One thing that I would offer as advice to anyone really watching the broadcast, but especially you because you're listening right now, is go back, save your replay, and watch what that 21 does. The way he shuts down the car going into the entry is the key to saving tires, and how he throttles up. He's not full jamming the throttle just about ever. There's all the speed secrets that you need to win the championship, Burke.
I'll check that out. I just won't watch the replay for him on how to do pit road.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to have a little fun.
I couldn't agree.
I'll ignore that part, but
I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw about 5 or 6 guys go into the grass or overshoot the pylon. So pit entry here is obviously very tricky. But
it's a tough one. Yep.
Congrats on your win tonight, Sean. Who do you want to give a shout out to before I kick you out of the booth?
Yeah, I appreciate it. I got to give a shout out to the RBS team owner, Desiree. Really appreciate her sponsorship, her support. We appreciate it. This team doesn't have much money, but we're always contending. We're a small team. So thanks. Hopefully this helps it out a little bit. And then to my pit crew, they call him Uncle Jakey and my son Jackson. So they were fast on pit road today. Appreciate it. And we'll see how they do in Indy.
Well, you got to keep training them. Don't let them go sleeping.
That's correct.
Awesome. Well,
thanks, Robert.
Yeah, no problem. And, just shout out to Reynolds again, watching you down from the sky, and definitely maybe helped you craft some of your pit strategy there. So,
that's correct. I think he did help a little bit. So he'd be loving this right now. So
100%.
And appreciate you putting on these broadcasts. It's been enjoyable to watch when I go back and watch them.
Heck yeah. Well, make sure that you tell all your friends and family to go watch it too, so we can get our views up. But
Yeah, I'll put it on at Buffalo Wild Wings.
that sounds beautiful, Sean. But congrats on your win tonight, sir. I hope to be speaking to you again sometime soon, and good luck in the playoffs, man.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Take care, buddy. That was our winner tonight, Sean. I don't got a nickname for him yet, but we're gonna have to think of one. Maybe Sean the No BS Burke getting it done tonight at Kansas Speedway. You heard it from him. A bunch of pit strategy paid off. He got it done. We had some carnage on pit entry for a variety of drivers, and that is kind of like the tale of the story. It riddled some contenders in the race, and unfortunately, kind of sowed their kind of fates, like there's not too much you can do. But 80 green flag laps for Lightning Esports tonight. No cautions whatsoever. And, you just saw that amazing caliber of racing where everyone was able to kind of lay out their strategy, both good and bad. But our victor tonight, that 95 machine, RBS, a Ford of Sean Burke, gets it done. Looking at the rest of the field, you saw Rideout. We spoke to him in the 76 in P2. Henry in P3 in the 10. Latrell suffered some catastrophic damage, taking him out of that podium contention in 4th. Oaks in 5th. Wright in 6th. McKee in the Blue Chew in 7th. Bridgeway in 8th. Darnell in 9th. Kahn in 10th. Jordan in 11th. Pottle in 12th. McAfee in 13th. Louder in 14th. And Warnez. Heard that he suffered some running out of fuel issues in the pits and wasn't able to get that car fired back up. That's going to round out our 15-car field for Lightning Esports tonight. Like I said, great race by everyone. Next week, we're headed to our first round of the playoffs. You heard it from every driver. Indianapolis, not a favorite track by anyone. And then after that, we'll be headed to Dover. So these Lightning Esports will lock in 10 drivers. If they're outside of the 10th place in points, then depending on attendance, they'll be eligible based on wins. And then I think we trim down from 10 to 8 and then to 6. And the final round of 4 drivers will be settled on August 3rd. That's going to be our broadcast for tonight. We're Speed Zone TV. I'm Robert Warren, your host, bringing you all the action for Season 4, race number 7 tonight at Kansas Speedway. That was sponsored by Apex Boss. Shout out to them. And shout out to Sean Burke one more time. As you can see him just burning it down, celebrating his victory for the Angels in the Sky, his pit crew, and the team owner, Desiree. Great run by him tonight, stitching together a strategy. We'll see you again next week. Make sure you're sharing out the broadcast, throwing some likes on it, getting us some views. But the no BS of Burke getting it done tonight. Tune in next week, 7:45, same time for the show. Round 1 of the playoffs. We're Speed Zone TV signing off tonight. I'm Robert Warrens. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Take care, everyone.